Chaos, shock, drama, excitement. Semi-final number one of Eurovision 2025 had absolutely everything. 10 songs qualified, 5 songs didn't make it, and we also saw 3 automatic qualifiers. We're going to talk about everybody. Let's keep going. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst, and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. Very quick note here, because my camera ring broke, so I'm using my backup one, which means my camera's upside down. So I have to look over here. Usually I look here. So if I start looking into the distance, it's not because I'm wistful or pensive about yesteryear of Eurovision. It's because my camera's upside down. I'm trying to adjust my head to look at the light instead of over here where I normally look. I found these results really, really shocking. If you saw my prediction video, I only got 7 of the predictions right. I said in that video that I feel totally saturated with information and I'm just totally too much in the bubble. Odds information, Eurovision scoreboard, all like that. And that really came to fruition. I think that what the Eurovision bubble likes and what casuals like, there is such a big difference there. My big lesson is these two worlds can be so different. My other key takeaway from the semi-final is that no matter how incredibly wow your staging is, if you've got a song that people don't particularly like, you're not going to make it through. This really emphasized to me that the song is the most important, crucial thing that casual fans are looking at when they're watching the contest. You can have all these bells and whistles, but the people are going to be deaf to it if they just do not like what they're listening to. We had a couple of clues. I'm going to go through everyone individually, but these are the headlines. We had a couple of clues about Cyprus and Belgium because Cyprus got 0 points in the OJE contest, which is the big fan vote before, and Belgium only got points from 3 of the 43 fan clubs who voted. So we had clues that people just didn't like the song enough. You would feel like maybe these two songs are targeted a little bit more towards those demographics, and they didn't fly with them. So in hindsight, why would they fly with the casuals? I thought that the staging was going to be so wow that people would kind of forget that maybe they didn't like the song. No, they didn't. They didn't forget at all. Cyprus and Belgium had amazing staging, but it wasn't enough. A couple of other headlines from the semi-final. We had 6 of the first 7 songs qualify, so we had more qualifiers from the first half of the semi-final. This is only the 4th time that it's happened. Twice in 2018, which is such a strange year. Both semi-finals had more qualifiers from the first half. We also had it happen last year. I think it was semi-final number 1, but that was expected because we had so many super strong songs there. This wasn't expected in my opinion. I haven't seen anyone saying we're potentially going to have more songs in the first half qualifying this year. If you did, leave a comment down below. You're epic. But this was a huge surprise for me. So this could be really great. It's kind of strange as well that since they've introduced the automatic qualifiers, which makes the show longer, we've had already 2 of those 3 semi-finals. We've had more songs in the first half qualify. That's not enough data to draw a conclusion, but you would hypothesize that more songs making the show even longer would be a disadvantage for songs at the start. Nope, not at all. 6 of the first 7 went through. Another insane stat, we have 9 non-English songs and 6 songs in English and 1 single song in English. Kyle Alessandro from Norway went to the final. All other 5 non-qualifying songs were English. Kyle was joined in the final by 9 songs in their native tongue. Incredible. This totally emphasizes for me that you can open the show with a non-English song. We've seen in the past this pattern that they always open up semi-finals with an English song. This was the first year they didn't do that. They opened with a fully non-English song. They can do that every year. People love the non-English songs. It is not a deterrent. It is not a turn-off for people whatsoever. In fact, it looks like the exact opposite. People love hearing songs in other languages. They love getting that culture. So I think the producers can really run with this. You can open with absolutely anybody, and that opens up the amount of options for them. Babe, is this lighting good? I feel so weird talking to this part of the camera. It's so off-putting. Never mind, I can't fix it. Move. Okay, let's go through everybody and talk about what was good and what wasn't good. No bueno. Okay, first up, let's talk about Norway. It's Kyle Alessandro singing Lighter. Again, the only English song that went into the final. Really, really wonderful. I think I was a little bit concerned last year with Gote that if Norway sends Norwegian, it's not going to work. It is going to work, don't worry. You know, Norway, you can sell English if you want. Great performance from Kyle. He was announced first. So happy for him. And I believe that it's a special day in Norway on Saturday. So really, really happy that they are into the final. This is 8 qualifications in a row for Norway now. They didn't qualify with Agneta Icebreaker, but they're into the final again. I think this was one of the more mainstream songs that people just liked. I think there's definitely people who there can be too much bells and whistles. Now, this does have bells and whistles, but the song is very like mainstream, broad appeal, classic, wonderful, well-produced pop. And there's definitely an audience for that. So really, really happy this is through. By the way, if you want to see my reaction to all of the qualifiers, check out my qualifier reaction video. It's appropriately named. I just put up on my channel, Foam in the Arena. This light makes me look, I'm not this oily in real life, by the way. This lighting is just absolutely brutal. Okay, we don't have time for that. We need to move on. Going to see the dress rehearsal for semi-final 2 now in 2 hours. Focus, Tom. Let's get this video done. Let's go for another qual. I'm not going to do it in order because I can't remember what it was. Next up, let's talk about Poland. Justyna, amazing. Oh, I love this representation in the final. She's 52 years old, but she's absolutely killing it. So nice to have representations from different demographics. We get, most of the artists are in their 20s, occasionally people in their 30s. I just love this. I really, really love this. She's such a badass, so professional. Oh my God, I didn't realize when she goes up, I think she used to have a harness at some point. She is literally strapping her hands into 2 straps and they're being pulled up by her hands. I was standing in the audience and I was just freaking goopified. Like, she's defying death for your votes. Like, if she lets go, she's breaking her legs live in front of 180 people. Just wow. I love her so much. She's just got a really great energy. I really like the fact they've got 3 male and 1 female dancers as well. I love that it doesn't have to be matchy 2-2. I love the costume. I just love the energy. This is so extra. Really, really happy that people put this through because I was a little bit worried that some people were like, this is just so much. This is way too much stuff happening. That's why I love it. So I was kind of worried that like this might have been one of the Eurovision bubble songs, but it wasn't. So happy that we've Justyna in the final. This is Poland onto a 1 qualification streak because Luna didn't qualify last year. She was the only person in that first half Wonder qualification fest who didn't get through. So great that Poland are back on a qualification streak. I'm so excited for Poland, by the way, now. They had a wonderful national final. Really, really great song. They're getting the staging right. That's one of the things that they've been criticized for in the past, is that they make staging mishaps. I think this staging looks wonderful. I think we can get that first Poland win soon if they continue with this on. Now, they can't go back to being crappy and corrupt. Keep it clean. Make the national final really fair and competitive. And Poland is going to get that first win super soon. It's not happening this year, but it's going to be soon. Let's talk about something I love, 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 love. You know I love this song. It is Claude Cloud from the Netherlands. You should have done the Dutch people. You were panicking. Don't tell me you weren't panicking. I was panicking a little bit as well. I was really panicking because everyone else was panicking. You know, when everyone's talking about the building being on fire, you kind of like get a little bit of that energy as well. Wonderful. This was, again, the only performance that made me well up. Oh, I just absolutely love it. I'm such a huge fan of him. He's such a sweetheart. Great performance. I like this. You know, it's not the best staging ever, but he performs it really well. I just love the joy in it. I love the choreography. I love when he goes into the violins. I was messaging my family members who are in Ireland and the UK, asking them what they want, what they liked. They all really, really like this. Play some of the ones they liked later on as well. By the way, they didn't like Belgium and Cyprus. That was a little bit of an indicator as well. So happy for Netherlands, 2 qualifications in a row. Netherlands have the most incredible qualification record since they did the revamp of their system in 2013. Love them. They're one of my favorite countries in the contest. I'm so happy we're seeing Claude. He actually moved up to 4th in the odds. So people are getting back believing in this. Hey, if this wins, I will be happy. I'm not going to be complaining about that. You know, it would be nice to go somewhere a little bit cheaper after what's happening to me in Bal. Every time I go to the supermarket, I cry. What a wonderful. I would love to go to Eurovision in Netherlands and just kind of have like a proper Eurovision instead of the kind of COVID-y one we had in 2021. Please vote for him in the final as well. He's such a sweetheart. Next up is Albania, Shkoda Elektronika. I still don't know how people are reacting to this. I kind of saw some positive reactions from casual fans and then a couple who didn't understand it. I think this looks wonderful. He's looking right at Beatrice. Like, they are staring into each other's eyes. It is so freaking magical. And she's taunting him. She's at his drum, playing, dancing, taunting at him. Oh, it's so freaking magical. I love it. Albania with new, amazing staging. Another country like Poland, if they start to like pick up, okay, if we do this, this, and this, we're going to be successful. We've made mistakes before. They can also be a country who gets their first win. They've never been top 4 before. This could potentially creep in. I'm not expecting it to. I would love it if it did. But again, it's about next year. Poland and Albania keep up this momentum and this trajectory. And we're going to be in Tirana and Warsaw really, really soon. Do not go back to your old habits, please. Okay, next up, let's talk about Sweden. It's Bada Bastu Sorry, I made a spelling mistake in my OJE video. So lots of people commenting saying that this sounded very quiet in the crowd. No, 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 no. It was not quiet in the crowd. We were effing freaking out. Like, we were doing this and people were screaming. I never really noticed that whoa at the end is very, very good for the audience. Like, it was like a football chant, because some of the other parts are harder to sing because you don't know Swedish and because it's a little bit more technically difficult. But the whoa is a football chant and everyone knows whoa. It's not complicated. So that was really loud. I think this looks wonderful, looks like a winner. But the amount of shocks that we're seeing in these semifinals, where the odds are just sometimes in touch, but sometimes totally out of touch, I'm not going to be surprised now if we get a surprise winner. And I would absolutely love it. I loved the surprises in the semifinals. It keeps the contest exciting, makes it not predictable. I don't want it to be that the odds are going to get 10 out of 10, because then it's basically spoiling what happens in the semifinals. So this is actually so healthy for the contest that we have these people who are doing something totally different and making it through. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Portugal. Goop Doc. Like, if you go to goop.com, it's Tom's face when Portugal qualified this year and then Dom's qualified last year. Thank God I didn't put this through as a definite no qualifier. Wow. My takeaway from this is that there are people who are looking for realness. They're not looking for bells and whistles and big LEDs. There are people who are just looking for a good song that's well performed, that feels unbelievably authentic. That's what Portugal have done for the last 5 years. They're on a 5 qualification streak. By the way, Sweden are on an 11 qualification streak. Albania 1. They're so unapologetically Portuguese. They're just like, go F yourself. We're going to send a Portuguese staging with a Portuguese song, giving a Portuguese vibe. My question is, and please answer this to me down below, what's happened in these last 5 years? They've qualified 5%. Oh, actually, it's more than that. It's these last five qualifications, which have all been incredibly real, authentic, chill, hyper Portuguese songs, like so Portuguese. They sound so unique and different. 2019, they didn't qualify with Telemóveis. I thought that was wonderful. 2018 was O Jardim, which I thought was absolutely gorgeous. The best song that's come last in Eurovision, in my opinion. And then 2017 was Salvador Sobral. So this new Portugal is just killing it. 5 qualifications in a row. I didn't totally write this off because I didn't say it was a definite no. I said it was a likely no. Thank God I saved myself with that. But yeah, I didn't think that this was going to qualify. I love the lyrics to this song, and I felt like that was one of the strongest points of it. And I felt like they didn't get that across. But people didn't care. They loved the vibe, the mood, the realness, the calmness. I thought that an emotional song was going to go through, but I thought that was going to be Slovenia. But that was maybe a little bit too in your face. And maybe the song just wasn't strong enough. We'll talk about that later. But I think people just preferred the Portuguese song. Maybe viewership was really high as well after Sweden. I think Brazilians definitely voted for this, and rest of the world, I think they would have really loved this. We'll have to see. If this comes 10th, it could be those small details. If this was 7th or 8th or 6th or even higher in the semi-final, people just love the stripped back vibe. And nobody does a stripped back vibe better than Portugal. They just do their own thing, and I really admire them for that. Next up is San Marino. It's Gabri Ponte singing Tutta Italia. This must have worked on TV. You can't just get through with the points from Italy. Other people like this as well. In the arena, people loved it. I thought the LEDs are fun. You know, the statue chewing and then dancing. And then, yeah, I thought they needed more of a party feel. But I think the quality of the song, this is, again, is coming back to my key point. The quality of the song is the single biggest indicator of if it can qualify or not. This got good points in the OJE. I'll give you an OJE update at the end of the video. Fair play to him. He's on his decks. He got through. He qualified. Usually these DJ songs don't do well. So happy for San Marino to be in the final. I think this is only the 3rd or 4th time with Say Na Na Na, Sen Hit, and then Valentina Moneta. Has it been another time? I think those are the only 3 times, because I think Valentina was the first one into the final. So yes, this is their 4th time in the final. Just showing you don't need diaspora. Let's be real. I think Gabri's a millionaire, so you do need a little bit of money, but you don't need to have a lot of diaspora to qualify. Really happy for San Marino. Oh my God, when you're watching that video, my biggest reaction, my biggest happiness, other than Netherlands, was Iceland. So happy for Vibe. I think this is such a fun performance. Opening up the semi-final with a totally non-English song. First people to do that, and they qualified. Wonderful. So deserved. I love their choreography's on point. These dancers are so excellent. I love this choreography. It feels really fresh. I don't think anyone's really done this style of choreography in Eurovision before. Love the part on the boat where they're doing the quick flips. Iceland haven't qualified the last is it 2 or 3 years? Bjork and Diljau. So 2 years. So back into the final. Really, really love that. You know, I want them to win Eurovision one day. So I hope that this invigorates them, reinforces that they can sing in Icelandic and people are going to love it. There is a very strong message that you can sing in your national language and people do not give an F. Really appreciate and enjoy it. 3 Nordics into the final as well. Iceland, Sweden, Norway, killing it. We're having a very rough year for Southeastern Europe. We have Albania in, but Croatia's already out. Slovenia's out. Serbia might be able to get through in semi-final number 2, but like, yeah. And then the Caucasus having a disastrous year as well. Azerbaijan out, Georgia and Armenia are in a little bit of trouble in semi-final number 2. So weird regional strengths and weaknesses this year. So happy for Vibe. They opened up the semi-final. They cannot open the final or else I will call the police. I'm going to go to Geneva because no. You've got to give them a good running order slot. They've earned it. They've done their hard work. Next up is Tommy Cash from Estonia. By the way, one thing I've noticed is that people saying a lot of the vocals sounded off. Everyone sounded really clean to me in the arena. So there's a definite mismatch between what we're hearing in the arena and then how the sound is being mixed and presented to you at home. Because there were no like big blips here. Red Sebastian sounded a little bit weaker than he did in the jury show, but he still sounded more than adequate. Someone told me that Tommy Cash was off. I couldn't hear it. It sounded totally fine to me. I think casuals loved this. I heard people laughing in the audience. Like, people really enjoyed this. This is 4 or 5 in a row for Estonia. Yeah, they're on 4 in a row now. The Baltics are really doing wonderful. We have Estonia in 4 in a row. Lithuania, I think, are currently on 4, potentially about to make it 5. And Latvia are on 1, I think potentially make it 2. I'll talk about when I do my semi-final 2 predictions. But my predictions for semi-final 2, I need to completely revamp the way I'm thinking. I'm totally throwing the odds in the bin. I'm thinking non-English songs are definitely appreciated. People like the songs. So I'm going to redo that video and I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm stressing about it. Let's not take it too seriously. Yeah, I think this can do really, really well in the televote. Could this be something that really challenges Bara Bado Bastu and really chops into their televote lead? I still don't think the juries are gonna like it. By the way, tell me your opinions, because this is the first time that you've seen the show and I've seen the show, so we can start talking about all the things. Tell me what thoughts you have. Next up, let's talk about Zifferblatt from Ukraine. They were last to be called. I love this song. I think it deserves to be in the final. There's a lot of negativity, I think, in the community saying this doesn't deserve to be there. First of all, you need to wait and see the results of the semi-final, because if they came 3rd or 4th or 5th, that's not just Jasper Babe. That is people liking the song. I actually had a lot of people message me saying they really like this. So I think in the bubble, people don't massively like the song. I think this is a gorgeous song. The staging came together for me. I think he had a good run through. I heard his vocals were a little bit off. Yeah, like this staging is really, really nice. It's just, I'm holding it too high a bar because I'm so used to Ukrainian staging being like, this is still really, really lovely. And they did a great performance and they were so nervous. They're really, really sweet guys. They've wanted to be in Eurovision for ages. Watching Daniel on the couch, like waiting to be announced, was really just like too intense, heartbreaking. So I'm so happy that they went through. This is a super lovely package. Ukraine keep their 100% qualification rate. That's 15 in a row. So deserved. I think they just sent really, really wonderful entries. Now let's talk about the 5 countries that didn't qualify, maybe some of the potential things that went wrong. First up is Slovenia, Klemen. I thought this was going through. I thought it was a real emotional moment. Maybe a little bit too much bells and whistles. It seemed like the emotional moment that people wanted came from the Netherlands and also came from Portugal. I think that Portugal potentially killed this, and I was not expecting that. I have to admit, I was so impressed with this. Every time that you see a close-up of his face, he is like untying things and putting straps in. Like every single close cut had a functional purpose for him to get ready for the next part. He was working so heavily on stage. I thought this was really, really beautiful, but fundamentally, I think the song was too weak. Like people didn't like this song, and then the staging kind of elevated. So similar to some of the other non-qualifying countries, is that fundamentally, the song seems to be the biggest determinant of whether you make it in or not. And people didn't like this song at all. It was never really high in the qualification odds on that basis. Next up, let's talk about Azerbaijan. It is Mama Gama Ride With You. I think they did a really great performance, very passionate, a lot of energy on stage. One thing to note is that the person staging this is Ace Bowerman. First of all, does anyone know what their pronouns are? I don't know. I couldn't find on their profile. I'm just going to say they for now. But they're also staging the UK, which makes me a little bit worried for the UK because I don't know. I don't think this staging fully worked. I don't know what Azerbaijan's doing. I don't know what their trajectory is. I don't know what their strategy is. they've just been a bit of a mess for the last 3 years, sending all these men doing kind of blandish pop songs with a Azeri instrumental randomly inserted in. I think they need like a total reset. I know they're trying to build like more a homegrown infrastructure for their entries, because in the past they used to use other countries to write their songs and do all the production, but it's not working. I think that this probably came 14th again. That's just my guess. I'm thinking serendipity. They were 14 for the last 2 years. Maybe they came 14th for the third time in a row. I have a feeling this was probably in the bottom two. Let's wait and see. Maybe it did 11th or 12th. Those results will be released after the final. And of course, I'm going to be doing a deep ass dive into all of that. Again, let's talk about the next country that didn't qualify, and that is Cyprus. Theo Evans singing. By the way, he was in the press room afterwards and he took it really, really well. He looked sad. He wasn't crying, but he was like dejected. But he was still going up and thanking people and giving hugs. So really, really, really classy from him. The song, people didn't like the song. That's the headline. That's the main point of it. OJE, 0 points for Cyprus. That was the warning that people did not like the song. They had the music video to look at. Doesn't matter how wow a staging you throw. Some people like the staging. I thought the staging was wow. I thought it was very impressive, like an expensive music video. But yeah, some people, it doesn't matter how wow it is, they're just not going to look past the fact that they don't enjoy listening to the song. I had this in my bottom 7. If you watch my top 30 video, Cyprus wasn't in it. So like, I should have, this is the thing with my prediction video, and I'm just going to like trust my instinct more, as opposed to going by the odds and all the data. I'm going to be a little bit more subjective when I do that. But yeah, this was a surprise. Last in the running order. The only time we've had the 2 final songs this year, Croatia and Cyprus, not qualify. It's only happened 1 time, and that was 2017, semi-final number 1. Trina Park were last in the running order, and Omar Naber from Slovenia was second last. That's the only other time that's happened where the 2 final songs in the semi, both of them didn't qualify. It's unbelievably rare. Like, this is the second time it's happened since 2008. That's a big shock as well. You need a better song package. This is a lesson for songwriters next year. Write a better song that people like, and then you don't have to bust your ass so much to compensate for that with staging afterwards. That's the takeaway lesson, I think. Let's stay on that topic, and that is Belgium. I'm really, really, really gutted for this. Heartbreak for Belgian fans 2 years in a row. Last year, amazing song, bad staging. This year, incredible staging. I'm not going to say it's a bad song. I didn't like the song. I think it was like 28th or something in my top rankings. I just don't think the song is good enough. And I don't think it has a broad enough appeal. Even this song, which you would kind of expect the community to love, it got 3 out of 43 fan clubs gave a point. So the fans didn't like it either. And this is such a fan song. I wasn't expecting the cast to like it. So this is all in hindsight. This all makes so clear. I thought that the staging was so wow. I thought the staging is amazing, so wonderful, that people would kind of like get over the fact the song wasn't great. Very interesting to see, did this come 11th? Was it close? Musty didn't come 11th. I think he came 12th. I think he was quite a far away from qualifying. So that'll be really, really interesting to see. Often when we see the non-qualifiers, it's quite surprising who was close and who wasn't. Very often it's not who you expect. Very sad he didn't qualify on his birthday. I think he can look back at this performance and be super proud of it. It's really wonderful. A little bit of a shame that his vocals weren't as strong as the jury show. The jury show was wow. This was a tiny bit off, but it was more than enough. Like, people just didn't like the song. Sorry, that's it. Eurovision fans don't generally like the song either. So I don't know, what do Belgium need to do? It's kind of disconcerting because they've had 2, I think, very great entries in a row. They need to both have good vocals, and because I think that they need both of them. Don't be disconcerted. Maybe they were super close, but yeah, disappointed that we won't see Red Sebastian in the final. And then finally, our last non-qualifier is Croatia. It's Marko Bosniak. Really, really gutted for him. I think that, I won't say the station was perfect. I think they could have done a little bit more. They had the cauldron. Maybe they could have made more of a storyline with that. But I like that they just took a risk. Instead of going for something kind of standard, they went for some bold colors. I love the choreography in this and the dancers. I think it's really, really, really wonderful. And I'm devastated for Marko because he's had so much criticism and hatred. It would have been such a nice redemption arc for him if he had qualified. And it's also disappointing because Dora was so good this year. I thought it had really good quality. So it's sad that the end result of that is a non-qualification Croatia ending their 2 qualification streak that they had after 4 non-qualifications. Hopefully we're not going down another 4 non-qualification streak for Croatia. and they come back fighting next year. Marco did a really wonderful job, great representative. I hope that this doesn't hit him too hard. Looking forward to Dora next year. Let's talk about the 3 automatic qualifiers. The first one is Melody from Spain. Really wow performance. This is just so one. This is my favorite costume change in Eurovision ever. I'm going to try and take a video of it when I'm in the final, but basically she's standing behind the curtain being filmed. Then the camera cuts in front of the curtain and someone literally rips off her dress. It's like all Velcro. It's very, very impressive. This big black dress, all of it just comes off in one swipe. So there's like a dancer crouching behind her ready and they go frish. It's wonderful. I'm going to try and film it for you in the final because it's like one of my favorite costume changes ever. It feels like a real homage to Drag Race. So much energy. These dancers are working their asses off. The choreography is wonderful. It's intense. I don't really like the LEDs, but I don't think it matters because I think the focus is on the performance and her singing. It's very camp. It's very extra. I hope that this gets Spain a decent result. I really would not like them to be bottom 5 again. We need to see like Spain get more mid-table. I don't know if I'm on the hype train that this is going to be top 10, but if it is, I think Melody's worked her ass off and she deserves it. I have a feeling though, I think mid-table feels like the most realistic thing. It's very entertaining. I saw a lot of people messaging saying that they did enjoy this, my casual friends and family. So fingers crossed for Melody. Next up is Italy. It's Lucio Corsicini, Volevo essere un duro. I love this song. I wish the staging was a bit more exciting, but again, some people messaged me saying they really, really like this. It's a totally different vibe. People who liked Switzerland liked this. That was a really common pairing that I saw, this more classic stripped back feel. Yeah, not really too much to talk about here because not much happens. It feels like a Sanremo performance to me. It feels super Sanremo coded. It's classic. It's stripped back. There's no frills or whistles on it. Again, similar to Portugal, who don't cave to the pressures of Eurovision and putting it. This is no LEDs, by the way, at all, I don't think. I was looking at the arch the whole time and it's completely and utterly off. I don't know if there's something on the floor that I missed, but this is so minimalist. It worked for Portugal as well. Maybe there are people who want that. Maybe things are getting too over the top with props and LEDs and people just want like a little bit of a like step back to something more real. Last up is Zoe Met for Switzerland. Very hard for me to watch this again. The screens just turn off the whole performance. Really, really wonderful. Great to see that the host country, it looks like they're going to do very well. Already spoke about this at length in my dress rehearsal video. Nothing much to add because I didn't get much new information. But again, lots of people messaging me saying that they think this is really, really lovely. That overlap with Italy. So nice to have a couple of wildcards. I feel a little bit more like maybe things aren't going to go, not as planned, but you know, there's this big storyline of it's Sweden versus Austria. I want things to mix up. I wouldn't mind a surprise winner, someone just coming out and really shaking things up because we don't want the contest to get too predictable. And let me just check the odds quickly. Sweden are 41%, Austria 22%, and then there's just this gigantic gap. I love Sweden and Austria. I think they'd both be wonderful winners, but I just want that like gritty, unexpected, anything can happen feel. Nobody's out. And for semi-final number 2, those countries are going to be watching this saying, even if you're last in the odds, you can make it. Like right now, we'll talk about this in detail when I do my semi-2 video. Countries like Montenegro, Georgia, who are right at the bottom of the odds, they can still make it. Denmark, Armenia, Latvia, Ireland, like it's just be real. Send something different, send a vibe, and you can absolutely be in the Eurovision final. Such an exciting semi-final. What did you think? Let me know all your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting me on PayPal and Buy Me Coffee. If you want to support the channel, I'm going to leave a QR code for you here and a link in the description. I'm also going to do a bigger donate screen here because lots of people are donating, which I hugely appreciate. And of course, thank you to all my wonderful patrons for patronizing me from all around the world. On my Patreon, you can get so much Eurovision stuff. We've been chatting in the chat about all the Eurovision gossip going on. And of course, thank you to my YouTube members as well. But thank you so much just for being here. I'm seeing another Eurovision analysis video very, very soon. Hope I can switch my screen around because this is really tripping me out.